To all the people who said New Zealand was gonna win and India were gonna get kicked out of semifinals, this is on you for casting a spell on New Zealand. So much so that they lost by 70 runs. Raki Malak here again. We're back again with regular morning after episodes. We had a nice episode in the middle where we went on depth into some of the issues and some of the questions that we had. But obviously, semifinal was back on today. Me and the boy are back discussing the game that's just gone. Rakimol, obviously, some early controversy to start uh, with the pitch report coming out maybe 4 hours before the game was supposed to start. There was some controversy around. There's a what's it called? Seventh pitch at Wankhede, which is the fresh pitch that was supposed to be used for this game, but then they went to use the sixth pitch, which is already had 2 games on it. Thoughts about a last minute decision on that? And I guess the ICC statement seemed a little bland, in my opinion. But yeah, happy to hear your thoughts and what you thought about it.
I mean, in the second innings, when the ball is turning square at 90 k's per hour,
Yeah,
you know that something's up, right?
yeah,
You know
yeah,
that this is not exact. This is by no means a fresh pitch. So credit to both the team's batters.
yeah,
Uh, for New Zealand, it was just one partnership, but credit to, again, all the batters involved to get the team to the score that they did get them to.
yeah,
Having said that, you expect a fresh pitch to be used for a semifinal, right? Even
yeah.
as a neutral
Yeah,
fan,
even
that's what you
that's
expect.
yeah. I think yeah, that's what a lot of guys on Twitter or X as we know it now, a lot of ex cricketers and stuff, they basically said that it's pretty much the norm um in a semifinal to have fresh pitch used regardless of where you're playing or who you're playing. So um that seemed interesting. Obviously, no help for bowlers at all in the first innings. You surprised by that?
Surprised, yes, but the New Zealand bowlers, they did look a little uncharacteristically defeated. And I'm saying uncharacteristic, but let's be honest, they haven't been at their sharpest in the tournament given all
Yeah,
the injury concerns that have been going on.
yeah,
So that's difficult. And more importantly, I think before the toss, maybe it's the report of the pitch that got to them. I don't know what it was, but I think New Zealand made a massive mistake, almost shot themselves in the foot by deciding to play an extra batter.
yeah,
I really
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we can back that decision by any means. And this is not one of those moments where we're saying it because it didn't work. Hindsight is 2020. No, there's no way you come up against India with one batter short. It just makes no
It's just
sense.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll get deeper into the game, I guess. Um, one of the things that definitely was shocking was we've talked about it on the show repeatedly was New Zealand were carrying an extra batter in a sense with Tom Latham not really getting on. So team composition wise, um, would you have played Tim Saudi on this pitch? And how much of a miss is James Neesham, even if he were to play over maybe Mark Chapman, given, I mean, Chapman was coming into the game with some form behind him, but how much is of a miss was those two calls, I guess.
Nisham, I think it's more of an injury call than anything else.
Yeah.
Given the performance he had against Australia, he would probably get a free ride all throughout the tournament had he
Yeah.
been fully fit.
Hmm.
So more importantly, focusing on the Saudi call, we spoke about it. I remember we spoke about it, I think, after the Sri Lanka New Zealand game,
Yeah.
where Saudi may just be favored for his experience, and I think that's exactly what happened. And I get it. Saudi, he is experienced. He has played a bunch of games in Mumbai, both in international cricket and during the brief period where he represented Mumbai
Mumbai
Indians.
Indians. Yeah. Yeah.
But all those things considered, you have to remember that Jamieson has troubled the Indian batters before. And Jamieson sort of carries that X factor in terms of the extra bounce he can get with his height
Yeah.
and getting into that uncomfortable zone for the Indian batters. You have to try something different. These batters, they're not going to fall for the regular swing that Saudi and Bolt are going to get in the first 2 to 3
Yeah.
overs, and then the swing is gone.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And they had the opportunity to actually play Jamieson in at number 8 by maybe dropping who is it, Latham or Chapman? It's just bizarre to me. Like, look, I know Latham kept well throughout most of the tournament, and he is still your, most assured keeper in
Yeah.
white ball cricket.
Yeah.
But how are you not tempted to try out
Devon
Devon Conway, the
Conway.
keeper, or even Glenn Phillips for a few overs when he's not bowling, knowing that you're carrying three keepers in total in your playing 11? That's exactly the mistake India made. Most Indian fans still criticize them for
Yeah.
playing four keepers in the 2019
2019.
semi-final.
Right. Yeah.
Fans say that they
100%.
could have easily played Mohammad Shami in there. You have
Yeah.
someone like Bhuvneshwar who can bat at number 8. You have Jadeja batting at 7 instead of batting him all the way down at 8, and that could have
Yeah.
worked. Again,
Yeah.
it's one of those hindsight is 2020 maybe, but it just makes more
It
sense.
just makes
However
more.
you look at it,
Yeah.
even if someone told you that India were trying that before the toss, you would have said, no, they're doing something really brave rather than playing four keepers.
Yeah.
Four specialist
Exactly.
keeper batters don't give you anything.
Anything.
None of them are
No.
bowling.
No. Exactly. And sometimes you have with Conway, the situation is that he's kept for them in T20 cricket. Yes, it's a big ask to have him keep for 50 overs and then open the batting if if they're chasing. But, like you said, Glenn Phillips is more than capable of doing extra overs when he's not bowling, right? So in that situation, they can have a 30-20 split, or they can even have like, if they're bowling second, then Devon Conway can obviously keep throughout the game, right? So yeah, I think given the experience of Kane Williamson and obviously the coach that Gary Stead is, this was I guess a call too far that they kept going with throughout the World Cup, because in the group stages they had a chance to try this combination out and see how it works, but they never opted for that. And let's get into the main topic. Virat Kohli, 50th ODI 100 in front of all the big guys. But before we get into that, Rohit Sharma and his selflessness at the top order, you have to talk about it. You have to applaud the guy. He's playing essentially in his home ground. Um, you know, we've seen some selfish or for yourself knocks, play for yourself knocks in this World Cup. Would someone blame him at a home World Cup? He missed out on 2011. This is his first home World Cup. If he were to play him for himself, would anyone really say anything? But no, he just went with his flow. And how good of the start was it? Was the start, and how much did that play into India getting 397 or 398 at the end of the day?
Amazing start. And as I said, with Rohit attacking from ball one, it sort of takes the fire out, diffuses
Yeah,
the Kiwi bowling attack, if you
yeah,
will.
yeah.
With Saudi and Bolt, you know that when they're not getting too much advantage from the wicket, you don't want to make them feel like they're getting too comfortable. You attack the odd delivery, it's going to get to them eventually. Again, this wasn't mindless hoiking, mindless
No, no,
slogging, none of that.
no.
You won't see that from Rohit. And to talk about his selflessness, look, that's the player Rohit is. Rohit knows in any format, he's not going to get to a score by defending. For him, playing
Yeah,
for himself is
yeah,
playing attacking cricket. That's
yeah.
exactly what
That's
he's
it.
done all throughout this tournament and
Yeah.
what he did today.
Yeah, I mean, 4 4s and 4 6s, 47 of 29. By the time he's gotten out, it's 71 for 1 of 8.2. Honestly, when I was actually waiting to see how quickly they get to 100 after that point, and like took them like 2.5 overs after that to get to 100, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be way more than I think. I was almost thinking 450 at once. They did slow down a little at the end there, in the last 10 maybe, or in the last five, I guess you could say, essentially. But um, Subban Gill had his supposed father-in-law in the to be in the future, maybe, who knows, we're feeding off rumors here. But again, amazing knock. I think he's grown so much into this opening role. You think about where Prithvi Shaw was maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, almost in his place, playing for India, opening for India. End of 2018, he was already playing for India. Could have been him playing at his home ground today. But Shubman Gill's really made it his own, and he's what, top of the batting charts now, number one in ICC rankings. So thoughts on Shubman's innings and how much he supported Virat in that partnership.
That's the thing. That's the cricketer Shubman has become. He's impressed everyone, gone from one league to another. Everyone thought he'd be a certain type of cricketer. He seems
Yeah,
to have excelled even
yeah,
that set of expectations people had from him. And as you said, yeah, the whole comparison with Prithvi Shaw is kind of sad if you think about it.
yeah,
Gill, for the longest time at that level, was a number three, while Shaw was the opener.
yeah.
So you
And he was
expect
always second
Shaw to be
fiddle to Shaw, right?
second fit.
Yeah.
Um, that's debatable. You could
I
argue
mean,
that
you
they were
could,
both pretty much neck
yeah,
and neck
neck and neck.
by most
Yeah, yeah,
standards.
yeah, yeah.
Gill, when he realized that he's not going to make it as a number three because, you have one of the best number threes, arguably the best number three of all time
Mm-hmm.
batting for India right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he made the opening position his own, and it really worked out for him exceptionally well. And today we didn't get to see the full brunt of it with the injury concern that he had in the middle of his innings. But overall, I would say he's been this massive asset for India to the point where, look, what's his name? Sorry, Shikhar
Shreyas
Dhawan
Iyer or Shikhar
he
Dhawan.
as
Yeah, yeah,
ICC
yeah,
man. You got to
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
They're not missing him. They're not
No,
missing him at all.
no, not at all.
That says a lot about this
Yeah,
opening pair of Rohit and Gill.
yeah. I mean, you think about the amount of impact Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit had as a pair over the years, right? And it's not an easy person to come in and replace. So he's done that really well, and his contributions are, as gold. Glenn Maxwell can bat on no leg. Shubman Gill can't bat on one leg. What is this? What is this behavior that's going on? Come on. You can't tell me on a semi-final you can put some more on the line.
He did. He did come back.
He did come back at the end, yeah. But the king, 50th 100 ODI 100 in front of, what is it, Sachin, David Beckham, you name it, everyone was there today. Um, if all of those people were there today, who's gonna be there at the finals? I don't even know. But yeah, go on. Tell me about Virat's masterclass today.
The an almost near perfect innings, I would say. He did slow down just a bit
Just
towards that 100.
mhm.
He wasn't getting that 100th run for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
was it the 100th run or one of the runs in the
That
90s? I remember.
he was there from 94 to 98, I think. He was like pretty slow, something like that. Yeah.
It wasn't even him being slow, it was more just containment bowling, particularly from Santner.
Hmm.
But having said all of that, he did exactly what he had to do, monkey off his back, because in the last three World Cup semifinals that he played in the ODI World Cups, all of
Absolutely
them single digit
horrendous.
scores.
Yeah, yeah.
Horrendous. Yeah, he never really looked settled. This was him not even getting to a double digit score, but straight up taking it to a triple digit score with 117. Phenomenal innings, incredible player. He's just one good game away from, I think, sealing his spot as possibly the all-time greatest cricketer
Great.
of.
Yeah, all time. Yeah, yeah. That's that. I mean, you think about when he first started and Sanjay Manjrekar said, give him one more game and see him out. And now this guy is scoring 50 ODI hundreds. In terms of Shreyas Iyer, we did shit on him for slow ball. I mean, short ball issues, but we did say it's a clear, weakness. But this guy is gone on a different level in the last maybe 3 games. You agree on that?
Absolutely. And it kind of helps that the pitches have worn off.
Yeah.
We did see a fresh pitch today,
Yeah.
so the pitches have worn off. So
Yeah.
that also helps his cause. And overall, he has always been this champion batter. less to do with his technique, which is great. His technique is fine. His stroke play is fine, but more to
Yeah.
do with his mindset. He's always been a very mentally sturdy, strong cricketer,
Yeah.
and that is translating very well here. We might even see him as a future captain, if I'm being
Captain.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't write it
100%.
off. Him as the ODI captain or the Test captain, I really see that happening.
Yeah.
So all in
And
all,
they
it was
back him a lot within the system,
they
right?
do, they
Like
do.
they do.
It's This is why he needs to keep his back problems
From
as far
F.
away as possible.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when those are away and he's performing like this, he just looks like the exceptional talent that he
Talent.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so good to see this young talent that we saw first, maybe in 2014, 2015. It's translating so well here in international cricket. These are the fulfilling journeys. I'm sorry, I keep
Yeah.
going on these
No, no.
tangents,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
these are the fulfilling journeys. They're not,
Mm-hmm.
look, you have one good season of the IPL or the Big Bash League, you come into international cricket, you have a few good series here and there, and then that's it. By the
That's
next
it.
T20 World Cup, you are underperforming, and by the T20 World Cup after that, you're gone. You're
But
nowhere in the scene. You're
yeah.
barely making your Big Bash team. You're barely making your IPL team or CPL team or PSL team. That these journeys are not exactly fulfilling.
Yeah.
But to see a player grow into this proper three format cricketer, which Shreyas Iyer has become, or even a two format, one format player, even with someone like Surya Kumar
Right.
Yadav, someone
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
seen all the way from 2012 becoming who he is
Who
today.
is yeah.
These are the more fulfilling journeys which you as a fan want to enjoy. It's like having your own player in a FIFA career mode, basically.
And I mean, Shreyas, after his injury, he's had a lot to answer to in a sense because Delhi Capitals threw him out. He was the captain at that time. You know, they kind of said, "Oh, we don't need Shreyas Iyer," which is dumb. I don't know how you can say that. And then, yeah, I mean, as a whole, he spent a lot of time at NCA recovering from these injuries, and it came back. There was some concern: is he gonna be fit in time for the World Cup or not? But yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about the bowling, because we're at Shreyas Iyer, I wanted to talk about how New Zealand's fielding placement was a little off today from what I thought. Shreyas, when he first came in, obviously he was looking good, but after he hit Rachin Ravindra for a six down the ground, there was one delivery where Ravindra bowled it quicker, but he bowled it very much near the wide line and got some turn out of it. And short third man was too square, and it just went between deep backward point and short third. And Rachin was telling Kane that, why short third man so square? Like he should have been much finer. Do you think this was a game where New Zealand kind of lost on those fine margins where a bit of better decision making or field placements could have probably, even the first catch Kane Williamson took, he had to make a lot of ground to take it, exceptional catch, but is someone else under that probably dropping it, and Rohit goes on to score 100, right? So you think that's a fair assumption that it's a game lost on a bit of fair margins?
Could be said. Could be said that New Zealand had an odd pressure of expectations, something we
Yeah,
don't really associate with New Zealand usually, but
yeah.
they did, and
Lot of
possibly that got
articles
to them.
making the rounds
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
oh yeah, New Zealand always makes it to the semis, this, that, all that. Yeah.
And maybe just them overthinking at the time.
Yeah.
This didn't look like the very, clear-cut typical mindset that we typically see with someone like Kane Williamson.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's possible that that got to them. And again, like we said, it doesn't really help when you're playing with maybe what, 10 and a half or even 10 batters
Hmm.
or 10 cricketers in total.
Hmm.
This doesn't help, right?
I just knew as soon as Latham came to bat, I just knew this is done in like maximum 5 balls. In a pressure situation, Mohammad Shami got his tail up. Kane Williamson just got out. He had no chance with this form, even despite his record against India and whatnot. It's just he's not in that frame of mind right now. Um, were you a little, I guess, disappointed or even like surprised that Saudi bowled all his 10, went for 10 and over? And then on the other side, Lockie didn't finish his spell. Rachin Ravindra didn't finish his spell, especially given that they had three spinners to bowl. and um, it just seemed like he was expecting experience to triumph and get the wicket, but it just wasn't happening. And didn't, like you said, it wasn't the clear cut or instinctive New Zealand that we have come to know over the past few years.
It doesn't really make too much sense to me. Saudi is renowned for not being all that good at the death.
Yeah.
In India, in particular,
Oh, yeah.
I know different format,
Yeah.
but we've seen him get bludgeoned, absolutely
IPL.
bludgeoned
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
death.
Yeah.
IPL. I mean, Shubman Gill knows he was at the other end when Andre Russell basically did what he does best. All that aside, you have someone like Loki Ferguson. I get it. You don't want to bowl Phillips and Rachin Ravindra, not exactly your premier bowlers,
Yeah.
not exactly suited for the death, maybe. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But to have Loki bowl only 8 overs, it makes no sense to me. Loki has
And he has the
had
Yorker bouncer, slower bouncer,
he
every.
has his set
Yeah.
of variations for the death. He has
Yeah.
troubled these batters before, so why not? Just why
Yeah.
not?
Just why not? Yeah. And I think that's the one that really perplexed me because um I just don't think, I know he has New Zealand's highest number of T20I wickets and all that. And some of that's due to the number of games he's played. And nothing to take away from Team Saudi, the cricketer. But some formats you just don't make it your own. And in his case, it's been the shorter formats that he's not really made it his own all the time. You put him in conditions like Australia, New Zealand, and stuff, he'd probably take you 4 wickets in the opening spell any day. But in these conditions, in these flat tracks, I guess think because we were talking about tracks and we kind of covered this in the early part. Anything else you want to cover from the betting innings?
Think we've covered pretty much everything. Rahul's little cameo at the
Oh
end
yeah,
obviously
come
helped, but
keeps
there
coming,
isn't
keeps
much to
yeah,
add in a sense that this is what they've been doing all throughout the tournament.
yeah. I mean, he came in and at a similar strike, like hit 100 last game, right? So they're just going with the motions at this point, and they have a very, very, very strong top five. That just Surya Kumar. I was seeing a few memes online that people were like, thank God did not have to see Surya Kumar bat too many balls today. And that is never nice to see because in T20 cricket, you would kill to watch Surya Kumar bat, but he hasn't found it the easiest to adjust to ODI cricket all the time. Um, New Zealand, the batting or innings. Man, they started that first over on a flyer. What were your thoughts seeing that first over when Conway sent what, 2 boundaries or 3 boundaries in that first over uh, to the ropes, and you almost thought, oh, we're on for a good chance here.
I just hoped that it would be sustainable.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. I didn't want to
Not
get
much.
too ahead of myself and think like, oh no, 400 is done now. That's the
Yeah,
thing with ODIs, right? You don't
you don't
one or
know.
two good overs don't really change anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Unless you're
the
Maxwell. No, but yeah. Shami, since coming on, now he's obviously gone on to become the highest wicket taker. Like we said, Ravindra and Conway both started with 3 boundaries each, and then Shami just took them out with some really good deliveries.
this is proper, almost you could argue test match bowling.
Yeah,
The length at which he's hitting, the way he's trying to get the batsman out outside off stump.
yeah.
It's truly incredible. And I don't think enough bowlers have had the patience or the mindset to try something like that, or even the heart to
Hard to
try something
try.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You can get driven for four trying that, but you shouldn't be worried when you're defending 400. I get it. Not everyone has had the privilege of getting to defend
Before
400, but you can
400.
also
Yeah,
do this when you're defending 250, 270, 280, 300. You don't have to be defending 400 all the time.
yeah.
Again, this
It's
isn't
attacking
T20
bowling,
cricket.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
don't be so scared of attacking bowling, and that is what Mohammad Shami has shown all throughout the tournament. Today, he just took again everything to the next level.
yeah, yeah.
But
I
that
mean,
opening
Yeah. No. Go on. Yeah. Go on.
No. That's basically it. That opening spell of his, it almost sealed the game. I mean, I remember Simon Toole mentioning something along the lines of, you cannot win the game. New Zealand cannot win the game in the first 15 overs, but they can sure lose it. And
Yeah.
that's what, someone like Kane Williamson was trying to do. He was trying to hold his end up while trying to score at close to run a
Good.
ball,
Yeah.
just to ensure that they don't lose the game. But it almost felt like losing the two inform openers so early was basically
Was a-
them losing the game
yeah.
within the batting power play itself.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that's the point I was actually gonna touch because the kind of start they were getting with yeah, the third the kind of start they were getting with both of those guys was really making a difference for the run rate and for the confidence that other batters had once they came on to play. But like you said, he was channeling almost, he was bowling to their strength and telling them, keep hitting me, let me see you keep hitting me, right? And that's what good bowlers do. Like you said, Kane and obviously Mitchell. Oh man, I knew Kane. He did not want to hit that for a six. Like he was trying to almost tuck it around for a double.
If he did, I guarantee you there will be 3 rows back.
Yeah. Like his bat didn't fully go. It almost seemed like it was like trying to go straight, but it just went that side. Yeah, it's just like we said, fine margins plus yeah, New Zealand always just catches the short end of the straw little. Um, yeah, I mean about the partnership and especially Mitchell. He got a lot of flack last time because of the pace that he scored his 100 against India during the group stages, but exceptional innings today. And if he had a bit more support from Glenn Phillips or someone, maybe they would have been close.
The Daryl Mitchell's innings was so incredibly good to watch because, as we said, there was a time when Kuldeep Yadav was literally turning the ball square.
Mm-hmm.
And this man was hitting him straight down the ground towards the onside, towards reverse sweeping him on the offside, forcing him to overpitch
Yeah.
and getting it to the offside. It was just amazing to watch someone who was counter-attacking in the best way possible, just the way you're supposed to in ODIs. And
Mm-hmm.
it's again so fulfilling to see as a fan the cricketer that Daryl Mitchell has become in all three formats. Focusing here on ODIs, easily one of the best innings that any New Zealander has played in the last, I don't know how many years.
100%.
Unfortunately, on the losing side, so a lot of people will forget
Yeah.
naturally,
Yeah.
but it was an incredible innings to watch. He was gunning for that final. He really was.
He
But
really
at
was.
one point,
Yeah.
towards the end of the innings, that's why I felt so bad. See, towards the end of the innings, when a player just realizes while he's batting out there, while he's batting on 130 after giving it his everything, that
It's
the
done.
game is over,
Yeah.
while he's
As
still in the crease,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
is so
It's
disheartening.
it's it's tough. It is tough. And as soon as Kane got out and then what's his name? Latham went what 2 balls later. I mean Williamson's innings, let's talk about it a little. Captain's knock essentially. He would have loved my brother and I were talking about it. Like, he's not the type to like try and hit a six before he's got into like 80 or 90 or somewhere around that, or even 100, because he can easily get 10 runs and over with angles, doubles, triples, this, that. So
He loves getting those what do you call it? The one bounce, two bounce into the rope,
rope
those kind of
those
fours. That
yeah,
that's his thing. When he's
yeah,
attacking, those are
yeah,
the kind of shots he relies more on rather than the sixes, as you said,
yeah,
which you can tell from the fact that he hit 9 fours and 1 6 today.
yeah.
And that shot, I can tell you again, this is to all the Indian fans watching. I'm not demeaning or downplaying the impact that Mohammad Shami has had, but that was not uh,
Yeah.
Kane Williamson trying to hit a
It's a
six.
six,
That
and
that
that is not.
definitely was not.
Yeah.
You guys have seen him a lot in the IPL and in international cricket. You guys know this better than I do. That was not him trying to hit a six.
No, no,
That's
100%.
what got him
Yeah.
out.
No, yeah, it's just as soon as I saw the bat on the replay, I saw the bat was almost straight and he played it there. I was like, oh, this guy wasn't even trying to hit it, man. It's just one of those things. Like you said, they could easily lose the game in the first 15 overs. But how important and how crucial was it that they almost stayed on par with India's run rate for that time that Mitchell and um, Kane were there, and then Glenn Phillips came in. They were almost maybe 6 runs away from India's run rate at all times. So they almost kept themselves in the game at all times. But like we said, they just didn't have the extra batsman almost in a sense, right? Phillips looked good again, but end of the day, not enough for New Zealand.
Phillips, if you look at the deliveries that he hit for boundaries, they were the more, hit me balls more than
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah.
He wasn't someone who could, hit a decent delivery out of the park today. I'm not saying that's not who he is. He
No,
can
no,
do that, but it just
but it
wasn't him
wasn't
today.
coming
He
off. Yeah,
was struggling against Kuldeep Yadav. He was struggling when the bowlers got it right. Unfortunately, you can't really fault him for that. You can't fault him for a 41 of 33 kind of innings
yeah.
because in ODIs, you don't expect batters to walk out there. And even today, even in this day and age of T20 cricket, even with players like Glenn Phillips who were taken in because of their T20I skills, you cannot just expect them to go out there and score a 20 ball
Every
40
day,
or a
every day.
25
Yeah,
ball 50. You
yeah.
cannot.
You
Those
can.
are going to be rare exceptions, and most of those won't even take place in ICC tournaments.
Yeah, yeah. No, very nicely said. I think 100% agree with that. And I guess even though they were getting a lot of purchase from the pitch, surprised that Ravindra Jadeja. Yeah, I was gonna say Rachin Ravindra. Ravindra Jadeja went for almost more than 6 and over at a stage.
I mean, he didn't
Or is
bowl
that
too
Mitchell
badly.
just Mitchell
He
straight? Mitchell
straight.
straight.
Yep.
Yeah,
At one point, though, I think one of the commentators were mentioning, hopefully not Sanjay Bachchan, but
yeah.
one of the commentators were mentioning that uh, if Jadeja could, dare to slow it down just a little,
Hmm.
maybe he could get more purchase off the wicket, which he didn't do. He stuck to his pace, which is fine. Again,
Yeah.
he was expensive, but 10 over 63 when you're defending 400, you take that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
The spinner on the other end got a
Everyone's
wicket. He
gone.
was
Yeah,
much more economical, so you take 63 runs. That's fine.
yeah. Kuldeep was brave. He kept trying to get the wicket. Obviously, right after I think Siraj had gone for 20 in 1 over, he came back and bowled like 5 dot deliveries in that over. It's only fitting that we finish with Mr. Mohammad Shami's 7 for 57 from nowhere to the top of the bowling charts. Zampa's got some work to do today. But yeah, I mean, take it off, finish us off with the segment on Mohammad Shami, the bowler, and how good he was today after that dropped catch.
Incredible. I mean, people can even joke about the fact that he dropped Kane's catch because he wanted to pick up that wicket.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah,
No,
I'll
but
take it. Yeah,
all those jokes aside, he has been absolutely amazing at ODI World Cups. Easily India's most impactful bowler, you could
yeah,
argue, which says
yeah,
a lot given Zahir Khan's World Cup record, on the other hand.
yeah.
And today
Oh yeah, 50 World Cup wickets today. So definitely, yeah, yeah,
he just looked a different beast. And it's almost as if without him, like I'm very glad he's the one who received the man of the match because without him, it wouldn't have looked like India could have won this game or India could have won
Imagine
the game
Shardul
as
bowling,
easily.
Shardul bowling instead of him.
No, no, no. Whoever bowled instead of him,
Yeah,
even if let's say Shardul was in super good form, even if
it's just
Prasidh Krishna came in, ran up, got a wicket or two here and there, I don't think anyone could have had the kind of impact that he did. The
yeah,
way he looked so hungry, he wanted every single wicket. He just kept running in ball after ball, not a single delivery where he just bowled a loosener, just let the batters have it, let them
yeah,
have
yeah,
some fun.
yeah.
No.
No,
So every
nothing.
single run that they got off him, they did get runs off him, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
58 is not a
Yeah,
small
yeah,
total for a bowler, but
yeah,
every single run they got off him was super hard earned.
Yeah.
because that's how difficult he made life out there for the bowlers. First with his attacking bowling, and then again with his attacking bowling. He never stopped attacking. That's the
No,
best part. He
no,
never thought about
never.
being defensive because that is just not his game,
Yeah. No,
which is why he
100%.
was at his absolute phenomenal best today.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good note to finish on for this game. We'll do a small preview for South Africa, Australia. That's the game today, but yeah, thank you for chiming in.